Hello, BookTube. So, no running today. Thought I'd try something more serious to say. I've been using my book of Dwarven Magic to read. Books contained in there. Clever dwarves. Yes. As I've mentioned before, you can always tell Dwarven magic. If a dwarf can make something grey, he will make it grey. And this is very grey. But they can fit books inside here. Incredible. So what I've been reading is First Year. It's the first book of the Black Mage books by Rachel Carter. I thought I'd give you my thoughts on it. It's a story about a girl, a teenage girl about 15, off to magic school. Not heard that one before, eh? Her name's Raya, and she has a twin brother named Alex. They're both off to magic school. Now, Raya is a very perseverant, very much determined to become a mage, a battle mage, in the combat faction of magic school. She's fairly likeable and she works really hard to get what she wants. Something I've very much admired about her. While her twin brother Alex seems to more sort of breeze through life, Raya seems to have to fight for every step of the way. Which gives her quite a strong character. And there are a few other primary characters in the book. There's the classic best friend, Ella. Kind of all-round perfect friend, perfect student, more or less. Almost painfully likeable. There's the sort of mysterious character, who's a prince. Somewhat enigmatic and moody. But also a little bit, I don't know. Sometimes he wants to be Raya's best friend. Sometimes he's rather mean to her. Kind of cliche. And speaking of cliches, there's another main character, Priscilla, who's the cliche class wretch. She's the perfect student, but the worst person. Even by human standards, Priscilla was very unlikable. And quite a good job the author did of making me dislike Priscilla. Which is very much the intent. And it's the interactions between these characters that really is the book's strength. As they went through their magical trials, which were really quite brutal in places, I really felt for the characters. Felt involved. I was cheering them on. I at times kind of wanted them to get splattered by a fireball just to see what happened. You know, who wouldn't? However, overall, the book I didn't think was very strong. It's maybe a 2.5 to 3 star book for me. Had a lot of weaknesses. Not least that it was the most predictable book I think I've read in a long time. No real twists whatsoever. At least none that weren't signposted from afar, right at the start of the book. And the other weakness is that there's not much of a backstory. It's very unclear to me why Raya's going to join a magic school when she has in fact shown no magical ability or potential whatsoever. Built a whole life plan around Not a lot. Furthermore, she's very, very fixated on being a combat mage. For no apparent reason. And that's quite a strong theme in the book, which isn't really justified. Other concerns were that there's not much of a background to the land they're in. The world building was somewhat limited, to the point where outside of the walls of the magic school, had no idea what was going on. A big premise in the book is that there's these 100 or so students in the first year fighting for one of only 15 places. The kingdom only trains 15 mages per year. Again, for no specific reason. Seemed a somewhat flawed plot. And again, they're very intent on being combat mages, despite the fact that the kingdom's very peaceful. Been about 4 generations since there was any wars. No mention of any warlike neighbours or any problems that might need fighting. Again, some questionable motivations. That all said, it is only book 1. There's more books. The second book is not called Second Year. That would have been too obvious. No, it's called Apprentice. And, rather magically, that's in here too. Somehow. For me to continue reading, which I will do, because I am invested in these characters. I do like the characters. So I'm going to continue reading and hope that the book 1 serves as a foundation on which book 2 will build. And if not, plenty of other books. Oh, and final note. I know you've all been wondering. No, there are no goblins in this fantasy book. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.